veteran that the federal government has a covert UFO retrieval program, which has been retrieving non-human spacecraft for decades. Alexandria Hoff is live with the latest for us. Hey, Alex.
Hey, Jackie. Yeah, this all came out after whistleblower David Grouch, he filed a complaint alleging retaliation for providing information to Congress. His biggest concern has been lawmakers being kept in the dark. That's an assertion that was considered to be urgent and credible by the Intelligence Community Inspector General. That's according to Grouch's former attorneys and reporting by The Debrief, which detailed claims by Grouch that the government has been retrieving partially and fully intact non-human vehicles. He spoke out earlier this week.
When you say crash retrieval, what do you mean?
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft if you will. It's probably not the right parlance, but no kidding, non-human, exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
Now, Grouch is a former intelligence officer and served on the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force, and lawmakers there intrigued by his claims.
I think people are ready to hear whatever's out there. Maybe it's a man-made aircraft. Maybe it's otherworldly.
I don't have the answers at the moment. And when I do get the answers, I'll be honest, but I can't tell you because it'll still be classified. So, but we will definitely be looking for those answers.
Journalist Michael Schellenberger said that he has now had multiple sources who have come forward claiming that the U.S. is indeed in possession of at least a dozen non-human crafts.
The descriptions range from the classic disc shape to the triangular shape. Another person described one of the ships as sort of a modified Huey helicopter or deep sea submarine. These are all people that are sane, highly intelligent, in positions to know.
He believes that the government should open the door on this with transparency in mind. And the Department of Defense, they did respond saying that there is no verifiable information to substantiate any of these claims. Jackie.
All right, Alex Hoff for us. Thanks so much.
Griff.
Jackie, for more on the whistleblower's allegations, Avi Loeb joins us now. He's a professor at Harvard and the head of the Galileo Project. We found the smartest man about these things in the country. He also runs Harvard's Black Hole Initiative. Avi, what is your reaction to these claims by the whistleblower?
Well, as a scientist, I'm guided by evidence. I want to see the evidence. I cannot just rely on hearsay. And I don't expect the government to release classified data because it will compromise the sensors that were used to find those things and other reasons that they keep it under secret. In fact, they not even release the information to other parts of government. We hear different voices from government. So the best path forward is actually for scientists to engage in figuring out whether we are alone or not by looking for objects near Earth. Rather than wait for the government to give us the information, because the sky is not classified. Anything to do with the universe has nothing to do with national security.
Yeah.
It doesn't adhere to national borders, and it should be shared by all humans in an open way. So the way the government behaves on this matter, if they have information that something out of this world came to visit us, should be released to the public. If they don't want to do it, I will find it.
They should, Avi. And to your point, my colleague Jackie Heinrich asked the operative question there to the White House press secretary. Take a listen here.
This whistleblower report alleging that the U.S. military has been retrieving craft of non-human origin for at least several decades. Are we alone? And if we were not, would you even tell us?
I would refer that question to the Department of Defense and let them answer that question for you.
So, Avi, Jackie here, what I didn't hear in her answer was a yes to either question.
Right. Well, what do you expect from people dealing with politics? You wouldn't expect them to be transparent. You wouldn't expect them a straightforward answer that relies on facts, evidence, science. And for that reason, I'm engaged in the Galileo project that is aiming to collect data on objects in the sky. We already have an operating observatory. We are planning to make 5 copies of it in the coming months. And I'm going on an expedition to the Pacific Ocean to look for the relics of the first interstellar meteor that appeared as a fireball in 2014, and the government confirmed that it came from outside the solar system. It was tougher than all the space rocks that NASA cataloged, 272 of them over the past decade. And so it's possible that it was a spacecraft because it moved really fast. And we're going to find out. We're going to collect the fragments and analyze them at Harvard University. I'm not waiting for the government to tell me the truth. This has to do with the future of humanity as a whole. You know, it's nothing to do with national borders.
Yeah. Avi, you wrote about this in a piece yesterday, this IM-1 fireball that you're going to go in search of, and we hope that you will shoot video and bring it here first if you find it. Let me ask you one final question. Do you believe that we are closer to learning from the government a definitive answer on whether or not there is extraterrestrial life?
Well, that depends whether they have collected, indeed, materials that indicate technological objects that came from other civilizations. It's very likely that such things exist out there. I don't think that we are privileged or unique. We just need to search for packages in our mailbox. And it's quite possible that the next State of the Union address will mention the state of the universe, where I very much hope the president will say, fellow Americans and Earthlings, we are not alone. If indeed there is such materials. If not, I'm going to find out my way, which is the scientific way, in an open fashion, without hiding anything. And I will report from the expedition on medium.com. I have a blog there, Avi Loeb, at medium.com. You can follow the results. If we find anything, you'll know about it.
We will be following it very closely. The head of the Galileo Project, Harvard professor Avi Loeb. Avi, thank you very much.
Thanks, Avi.
Thanks for having me.